a gender and social development activist working with Gender Inc. Today we are at Dandora Phase 5 at Al-Noor Muslim community. With me is a very special guest, Maina Ngeru. Kindly introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, I'm Nangero from Dandora Phase 5 from Al-Noor Muslim community, and I'm the secretary.
Oh, thank you for having us. Ngeru, give us a brief introduction of what you do at Al-Noor Muslim community.
So Al-Noor Muslim community is a youth-led community-based organization. It was formed in 2018 but registered in 2019. So we have iftar program, we have a mentorship program, empowerment program, and then we have dawah program.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
You've mentioned iftar program. Would you tell us what it means and what you do with this?
Iftar program, basically it is providing food, yes, to the members of the community.
Do you provide food to every person or to the needy people?
We do provide the food to the needy people. Basically, the first priority is Muslims, but we also target non-Muslims. Yes.
How do you identify these groups?
Basically, we do work with systems whereby we know the population of Muslims who are in need. Normally, we start by collecting data and doing some interview to know who is the most needy, and then from there we take the initiative on who's most urgently needs help.
Okay, so is this program only available in Dandora, or do you?
This program, we have partnered with various organizations. Our main partner is Zakat Kenya, so we work with Zakat Kenya. And during this Ramadan, Alhamdulillah, we were able to distribute 200 food pieces to members of Dandora community. But initial distribution was targeting 6,000 families, 6,000 needy families. But at the first phase, we were able to distribute 1,000. So out of those 1,000, 200 came in Dandora.
Okay, Ngeru, the main beneficiaries of this program, is it single-headed household families, or do you also provide to the...
So when it comes to that, it depends. You can be single-headed family, but you are capable of providing yourself, and you can also be a single-headed family, but you cannot be able. So like I said, we do gather data, and from there, so the beneficiary is a cacophony of different families. So we have single-headed, we have the families, and
so once you identify a family, whether if they are needy, that's when you reach out to them.
Yes, we reach out to them.
Oh, that's amazing. So you also mentioned you have a dawah department. What does it entail?
Okay, dawah department entails of propagating Islam. Dawah is an Islamic word meaning to call. So when you say we have dawah, it means that we are calling people towards Islam. But basically what we do is that we try to reach out to people, we educate them, we enlighten them more about Islam. And from there, if a person chooses to revert to Islam, is also welcome. So from there, if a person reverts to Islam, there are some channels that he or she has to go through because he or she must be educated to know more about Islam.
Okay.
Yes.
That's nice. You also mentioned you do empowerment programs, economic empowerment programs. Yes. Would you give us a brief on what you do?
So like I said that we have partnered with Zakat Kenya. What we normally do, we said that we collect data, and from the data we are able to identify who is the most needy. So this economic empowerment program, we do identify hardworking individual Muslims who needs to be boosted in terms of economically, either to start a capital or to boost an existing business. So what happens? We have partnered with them. So if you are selected, you go for a training, which you will go for 3 months. In the training, you will learn business skills, business management, and also other side hustles. Like last year, the first batch to be educated, but the first batch to go under the program of being educated, they were taught how to make sanitizers, how to make soap, how to bake. So from there, when you're given a capital, yes, you might be having that initial business idea, but when things come hard to you, you'll also have a cushion, because you can either open a sanitizer business or a soap business, also while you're doing your business, to boost your business.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Ngero, what criteria do you use to identify these people? Because I believe different people have different needs, and it might be difficult kujua mtu mwenye huyu anahitaji business. So, do they come to you or do you reach out to them? What criteria do you use?
So it's a two-way. A person might come to us, or we might reach to them. Yeah. So, and the criteria that we use, we normally, there's a series of interviews that we conduct when we want to reach out to people, or a person reaches to us. We'll ask him or her some few questions. If he or she meets the criteria, then we forward their names to Zakat Kenya.
Okay, so you've mentioned Zakat Kenya severally in this interview.
Yes.
Can you give us a brief description of who they are? We would like to know them.
Zakat Kenya is a Muslim organization.
Yeah.
And it is based in South Sea.
Yeah.
But now they moved the offices in Hurlingham.
Yeah.
So Zakat, it's a pillar of Islam. In Islam, we have 5 pillars.
Yeah.
We have Shahada, we have Salah, we have Zakat, Saum, and Hajj. So Zakat is an obligatory part of every Muslim who is able to give out. To give out. So Zakat Kenya is whereby people take their Zakat, their alms there. So from the Zakat Kenya now they are supposed to distribute to the most needy. So because they cannot be all over Nairobi, we represent them here in Dandora. Yeah, so yeah.
Oh, okay. So Ngero, after you identify the groups, the needy people, those who are willing to have entrepreneurship skills and maybe venture in the business field, do you do a follow-up on whether whatever you funded, you funded them for? Maybe it's a shop business. Do you do a follow-up?
Yes, we do follow-up.
Uh-huh.
And okay, because of the situation that we are in due to COVID-19, some of these businesses have not been able to succeed because they were startup business and they were hit with hardship.
Yeah.
But we do follow up, and we try to cancel them because some of them had high expectation. You start a business, it fails, so we have that psychological trauma. So we try to counsel them so that we can work with them.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do you intend to do? Will you fund them once again after maybe the economy stabilizes? Or?
Yes, inshallah, they might be considered, but remember the list is too long. So so if you are able to get this time, you just let another person to get.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
So
I
the aim is
understand.
to empower the Muslim Ummah so that we stop from being dependent to independent.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay, you also mentioned you have mentorship talk programs.
Yes.
Who are the beneficiaries of these programs?
The beneficiaries of these programs are both Muslim youths and non-Muslim youths. Basically, we target the teenagers because after considerable observation, we saw that most of our teenagers they engage in deviant behavior and risky behavior. So we saw that it's good. It's good because there has been that gap. There's been that gap, especially when you remember last year, the schools were closed for a very long period, and the parents had used to leave the guardianship of their children to the teacher. But we found that they have extra time, they have a lot of free time. So we found that most of them is there. They started to engage in sexual behavior. Some of them started to engage in drugs. And right now we have seen the results whereby we have seen a couple of our teens being pregnant. So we saw that we can be able to close the gap. We started this mentorship program. We talk to them. We talk about the current situation they are going through, and it's a dialogue. It's a dialogue process whereby we want also to listen to them because we cannot use the old dogmas on the new generation. Yes, what worked for us in our generation it might be different from what will work now.
Indeed.
So it's a two-way process.
Okay, so last year in the face of COVID,
Yes.
Teenage pregnancy was one thin in Kenya. The rates were high and stuff like that. We also got cases of drug abuse. Have you tried reaching out to young youths?
Yes. We have tried. We have talked to them. We have held several workshop and seminars, and we can see the impact. We have seen the impact that the rate of pregnancy has reduced, and also those engaging in drugs. So we have seen some reforms in some of them.
So Ngeru, now that we are in a Muslim community organization, was the Muslim ladies and young youths? Can you tell the numbers? Can you tell us the numbers of maybe cases you can approximate between? I mean, in a range of 1 to 10. Can you tell us approximately what the Muslim girls, the cases of teenage pregnancies, how many girls, how many Muslims girls in 10 would you like?
Okay. What I can say, Muslim societies, when it comes to sexual matters, it tends to be secretive. Whereby if a girl gets pregnant, she might be hidden away. So not so many will come boldly to present, because I think because of stigmatization. But from unconfirmed cases, we have like 3 to 4 cases. But one that you have
Those
confirmed,
are recorded cases.
in Dandora, Muslim girls.
Yeah.
Yes. For non-Muslim girls, the number is so high. Yes.
So this means we need to demystify the fact that Muslim girls cannot talk about their sexual matters openly. It's like a taboo, is it? Or
They can they can talk about their sexual matters, but it is prudent for them to talk with a lady instead of a man. It's prudent. That's what we say, because we normally have qualified ladies whom we call ustadas, who have both knowledge in Islam and also worldly knowledge, so they can be able to conceptualize and talk to them.
Okay, this brings me to the sexual reproductive health part, matters of menstrual health management. So now that they have to talk to a lady about it, are Muslim men and boys aware of menstrual health matters? Do you involve them in such issues? Do you educate them on matters of menstrual health? Because I believe it's not about women, and not just women. It is something societal. It is natural.
So about men, maybe I can say there's a gap there, but everything is stipulated in the Quran, and how to handle menstrual hygiene. So because maybe because we normally think it's a woman problem, that's why maybe we have left it to the schools to teach our boys and girls mostly. Yes.
So it's rarely spoken about at home, maybe.
Maybe in private matters, people talk.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Ngeru, you also mentioned last year in the face of COVID, you had a COVID-19 response team. Can you tell us much about this, what you did?
Yes,
that is very interesting, by the way.
So, the Dandora Muslim youths, were in response of the plight of COVID-19 fatalities, whereby, Muslims have their rituals of how we bury Muslims. So, because of COVID, we saw that things were going to shift. So because of paying the respect to the body, because of honoring the guy, the deceased, so we were in the response trip whereby we used to, we were burying the fatalities. But Alhamdulillah, it was a good work. It was a good work because we tried to remove that stigma. Because when the first case of COVID-19 was reported, there was a lot of stigma and fear. And I can attest that few people, you even saw that we even witnessed a person losing his loved one. He or she is afraid to view the body, even if it's at a social distance. But Alhamdulillah, we observed the COVID-19 measures, and we are able to bury our brothers and sisters.
During these activities, was there anyone of your members who contracted
No.
COVID? It was that safe, actually.
No.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Ngeru, you mentioned you do advocate for equality and you reach out to vulnerable groups.
Yes.
What groups do you reach out to?
So we work with women,
Yeah.
most women, because we have realized the power of women.
Yeah.
When it comes to resource mobilization, when it comes to even mobilizing for a function, so we work with women. So the vulnerable in this case, we also work with the poor in the society, and also work with children, we work with orphans. Yes, we try to reach out to them.
Okay, Ngeru, now that you've mentioned women, you work with women mostly. Do you think now that there have been so many cases of women empowerment, women being beneficiaries of maybe cash transfers, there are women enterprise funds, do you think the boy or men have been neglected towards this drive? Actually, what we compare na KCPE performance, the girl child performed much better as compared to the boy, and that raised a big concern about the boy child. So tetea boy child.
Yeah, kusema kweli, the boy child amenegletiwa because most programs in this community reach out to women.
Yeah.
Most programs, and yes, even when we talk about the youth, we'll find that we are talking about the youth, but women part of it is. It's inclusive, as in we must see women part of it must be the terms and conditions.
Yeah.
So yes, we have realized that's why in the mentorship program we said they are going to take both male and female and try to talk to them, because if you talk to a girl, definitely the person who's going to impregnate make the high chances of person impregnating her will be the male gender. So that's why we're even trying to. That's our part of empowering the male gender with information so that they know the consequences of their deed. But also, in addition to that, we also find that the criteria of you maybe to benefit, like us in a Muslim organization or community-based organization, we find that for it to be recognized, to be gender sensitive and gender inclusive, women must be there. You'll find that even men, you can even find a test that in sub-organization, even if it is women-based, men also are the fundamental part. They're also required there. So you'll find that women are over-empowered, men are less empowered. Yes, you can even say that when it comes to domestic violence, even if women are 3 times more likely to experience violence, when it comes to a man, he cannot report it because he's not that empowered. He'll feel ashamed to talk about it. When it comes to sexual assault, when man is the victim, he will not talk of it because he has not been empowered to talk about it. So they suffer in silence. That's why men are more depressed than women.
That's true. Yes. That's true according to statistics. Okay, Ngeru, now that you mentioned violence, you've mentioned what do we call it? You've mentioned sexual assault. Yes. This brings me to gender-based violence. Okay, there have been so many cases of rape going on. There was the story of the lady who was killed by a husband, a married man, just because he was flirting with another husband. There have been cases of rape. And people are actually victimizing the victim by saying she was poorly dressed. Yes, there was a Muslim who was raped, and we can say alikuwa amevaa sijui aje, sijui nguo fupi, sijui nini. Ngeru, what is your take on GBV, especially on matters of rape? And
first of all, I am a gender-based violence champion.
Yeah.
I'm an activist, so I work with Blango Kanja Foundation, and I'm sorry I didn't mention that I'm also a social worker. So when it comes to gender-based violence, the most perpetrators are men. That one I'll agree. But I cannot blame somebody because of mode of dress, because there's no way a rape victim, there's no way clothes and rape are correlated.
Exactly.
No. Because you can dress well because you have quoted a Muslim who was raped, and I believe she was well preserved and had dressed well. So it all comes to the perpetrators. They take in gender-based violence. One, it's wrong and it's bad to exercise any form of violence to any lady or a man.
Yeah.
It's also unconstitutional.
Yeah.
And also when it comes to humanity, it's morally wrong.
Exactly.
So my take is that those who are the survivors, we don't call them victims, we call them survivors.
Exactly.
The survivors, it's always good to be bold and talk. When I was working with one of the foundation that was dealing with these matters, I realized that when it came to reporting to the police, most of them feared because one, the police was slow in taking the action, and we realized that there is no safety homes.
Yeah.
Because there is what we call intimate IPV, intimate partner violence. You see, so a partner cannot exercise a violence when you report to him or her to the station, and then you'll get back to him or her. You'll see that will escalate the rate of violence again.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, I think there are no clear police institutions to deal with these matters, because kuna polisi aliuliza mtu ulikuwa unasikia utamu, ulikuwa unasikia vizuri, so it's degrading.
Exactly.
Yes.
Hata unakutanga polisi, if a man reports cases za violence, especially bibi yangu alinipiga ama girlfriend wangu kuna venye aliniharass ama she stole money from me, unaulizwa mwanaume mzima unapigwa aje na dem na msichana ama bibi, go and man up, which is wrong. I think the society needs to change this mindset. Yeah, because men are people as well. They need care, they need to be taken care of, they need platforms where they can share their frustrations without being
judged. That. And then there's one thing that is called ati tusikizane. Unaona, hakuna kusikizana. Kama mtu ame-exercise violence kwako, kuna kusikizana. Report him or her, so that yakuwe funzo, because you might not be the first or the last victim.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
So also remember pia kuna magonjwa, and you realize that rape is a crisis. Inakuweka into a crisis. Also unaweza kata kutoka nje, itakudepress, as unakata kuchukua medical care, na upate within 72 hours maybe you'll be pregnant na umecontract STIs, AIDS, HIV and AIDS, HIV virus. So when it comes to even child defilement, there are some cases whereby kuna kusikizana, no report, because this is a pervert, this is a reject from the society, and it should be safely locked from us.
Exactly. So Ngero, now that we are in a Muslim community setup, would you give us a brief description? I believe you practice, Muslim community practices polygamy. So, and there are so many matters and there are so many stereotypes. I want you to demystify this for us and give us an explanation. Ngero,
yes.
nikikuja nikuwe bibi yako, na mimi sitaki unilete bibi mwingine next, niko na say?
Thank you very much. Kitu ya kwanza, unafaa kujua marriage ni institution. Unafaa kukubali. Na in Islam, kitu moja ni, umesema an example, for example, you are my wife. So the prudent thing ya kufanya, nafaa kukwambia, hata kuongezea bibi mwingine. Sawa, ukikubali, well, ukikataa,
so it's a matter of consent.
It's a matter of consent.
I have to consent.
Yes, only that what wanaenda the other way around. The other way around. Unapata mtu because ana feel is man, male chauvinism, sitaki kuambiwa na mwanamke nini, but that is wrong. That's not how Islam teaches. So
you're telling me the beliefs that Muslim men are Muslim communities, there's too much male domination. The patriarchy is high. Ni sisi tunaamini hivyo huku nje.
So okay, mali men wamedominate sana ni pande ibada. So when it comes to kuongoza ibada, because hiyo ni field yenye wanaume walipatiwa, but hizi mata zingine women wako na say yao.
So in the household, niko na say ya kusema I don't want 10 kids. I want female planning. Niko na hiyo say.
Okay, hiyo mata ya family planning ni controversial.
Yeah.
Acha tu niache hapo hivyo because it's a personal choice.
Yeah.
But in Islam we don't advocate for family planning.
Yeah.
But it's a personal choice. Like venye nimesema ni personal choice ya mtu because siwezi kwamba upate watoto 10 na huwezi afford kuwalea.
Gero, this brings me to arranged marriages.
Yes.
Juu mimi sioni venye hata nikiwa a Muslim lady. Wengi najua hawatakangi kuarrangiwa bwana kama mimi simtaki.
Kweli.
So tell us about this. Is it happening?
Okay. Kitu moja unafaa kujua kuna Islam na kuna culture.
Yeah.
Unaona? Na hizo sema arranged marriages ni failure. Sawa, because hadi wenye wanakatana wanauana walipatana mahali waka romance.
Yeah.
So when it comes to arranged marriages, unapata there are some cultures that has been their way. Na imekuwa successful. It is working for them. It is working for them. So I cannot say it is bad and it's working for them because hata ingine yenye unapatana na mtu mnapitia hizo stages zote alafu unapata kuna divorce. So unapata okay, mimi kitu moja naweza penda about arranged marriages, kitu moja is because kulikuwa na ile family wanachunguza. Unaona? Kwa hivyo kabla wakubaliana wamakate wameshafanya ile historical kuchunguza. Unaona? But ile ya kuforce, unajua kuna arrange consent na kuna ile arrange forced.
Yeah.
Ile ya kuforce we are against it. Unaona? Because even in Islam when it comes to marriage, a woman is asked. Utamkubali kuwa bwana yako? Akikataa so si mwanaume peke yake anaulizwa, hapana, ni mwanamke. So akikataa akisema kujui even inaisha.
So ladies, kama you have a Muslim crush and it's not that bad, you can tell uko na sebana. So okay, Ngero, tukimalizia, what would you like to tell the community? What would you like to tell the community? What is your take on everything that is going on in the society right now?
There are a lot, maybe specify.
I'm going to specify on matters of GBV, on matters of health and economic empowerment. Okay, it's insane. With COVID and all that, people have lost jobs. People have give a word of hope. Pay a word of hope hapa nje.
Okay, najua ni kunoma. Kwanza because some of us tulimaliza shule, alafu kumaliza shule hivi pap COVID ikakam. So hizi measures zenye the government imechukua right now tunacheki matunda yake because you can see some places like India wako na high fatality cases za COVID. Na it's better tubaki hivi down kuliko tuseme tunatafuta do tuko tunazikwa. No. We don't want to be a dead economy. We don't want to be a dead economy person. So on matters of gender-based violence, I'd like to urge men to always listen. Because listen to your partner, even you lady, listen to your partner. There's normally one problem whereby when it comes to marriage, tunaendanga kwa counselor ile time yenye vitu zimekuwa worse. But there's a urge couples, when you marry him pap today and then you can a counseling session, because one thing kuna dynamics zinaendelea kwa marriage saa naona mtu amko mnajuana saa mmefika hivi pap mmeshaanza maybe yake huko ndani alikuwa na connection msafi but ukikuja huko manzi akona ngoza moja maybe so unapata inaweza kwa inakukera na so ni kitu inafaa inaku affect psychologically. So for you to adapt it, you're supposed to be going to a counseling session like they unaenda kwa dentist, like they unaenda kwa medical checkup. Your marriage should be the same. Don't wait until it crumbles. That's when you start trying to fill up ufanye ulikata kuziba. And then on matters about empowerment in the community, yes, I do speak to the youths because ando uti wa mgongo wa economy yetu. So right now kama situations ziko worse, kuna other opportunity kwa na what we call escapism mentality. Escapism mentality ni ile yenye unakaa umeridhika, unangoja ufanye kila kitu, unaona kila kitu iko sawa. Unaona? Unaona kila kitu iko sawa. But wewe mwenyewe unangoja mtu mwingine afanye akuletee change. Imagine sasa mkiwa watu kama 1 million kama wewe, hakuna progress yenye utamake. But ukabaki ile sisi wote tuna take initiative. Unaona? tuache kurely sana na hii slogan inakuanga serikali saidia. Yes, government ina play part in it, but sisi wenyewe tukichukua hiyo initiative tujaribu kujiempower, unaona, tujaribu cause unapata sisi wenyewe ndo maadui wetu, cause utafungua busy ya ice pale hivi, unaona, sitaki kupromote, unaona, utafungua busy ya socks pale hivi, utani promote, unaona. Alafu sasa wakati shida inakuja, may God forbid shida mbaya, nani unataka kuchangishia? Wendangi kwa watu wazai, unakuja kwa sisi ma youth man, unatuambia tukupostia kwa Facebook. For the same energy unakuanga nayo, aggressiveness unakuanga nayo when it comes to matters of purchasing, matters of anything. Just try to promote a fellow youth. That's what I can say.
Simply be the change you want in the society and bring it to the society as well.
Na nikiadapt, Dandora tunapatanga crime rate iko high.
Yeah.
So Al-Noor Muslim community ndo at least pay mentorship ina kama stepping stone ya reduce this crime rate, because unapata watu huko nje wanapitia a lot. So unapata mtu tu, he or she has nothing to live for. Na Al-Noor Muslim community tries to give that purpose back to you. Ina try to reconnect naye. So unaweza come, join, tuko hapa Dandora Phase 5, work na sisi, whichever field welcome, hatubagui msi.
Tukimalizia Ngero, I want you to talk to the community and tell them, and Kenyans, and tell them what kind of support, the kind of support you need, and how they can reach you, and the contacts in case one wants to volunteer.
Oh, thank you very much. So, ile support yenye tuna need sahi ni financial support.
Yeah.
Alafu pia tuna need somebody to come on board pia to mentor pia sisi. We are mentoring the youth, but we don't have anybody to come and mentor us. So at some time tuta feel exhausted. So any donation yenye unaweza taka kutumia itaenda kutusaidia, na paybill ni 400 222 589438#. Tanirudie tena 400 589438#. Alafu italeta jina Al-Noor Muslim community.
Okay.
So and then unaweza reach out through this number if you want to talk more, if you want to know more. So it is 0711 71 4274.
Okay.
Also from there tutaongea, alafu unaweza tu email pia. Email yetu ni alnoormuslimcommunity@gmail.com. Ama utufollow pale kwa Facebook pia, tunaitwa Al-Noor Muslim Community. Pale Facebook utaona some of the things zenye tumekuwa tukido. Yes.
So guys, head over there, contact those numbers and support this organization. They are doing an amazing job. So don't forget to follow us on our social media pages at Gender Inc. on Instagram, Gender Inc. on Twitter, and Gender Inc. on Facebook. And also follow our website, Gender Inc. Thank you very much.